I am recording now. Good. Okay. However, and then after we do the tenor and bass betelehemu part, then we're going to do the awaiori for the sopranos and altos. One of the things that we'll be working on with the sopranos and altos is sustaining tone for that long. I think it's pretty much guaranteed that you're going to need to stagger breathe in that phrase each time. I was working on singing it today and I found that I could not sing it the whole length. Some of you may be able to, that's cool, but we'll just plan on the likelihood of stagger breathing and start to work on how do you actually do that. That's one of the things that I haven't really been able to teach very effectively in a rehearsal situation, because I can't come around and hear what you're all doing and fix it individually. But I think maybe we can make some progress on figuring out how to make that work in this setting. So I'm interested in exploring that. However, before we do either of those things, let's do a little bit of rhythm, okay? So as you may recall, in Betelehemu, it starts out with that slow sort of processional quality at the beginning. And that's in, you can think of it in 4/4, although it's really more in 2. 1 and 2 and 1, 2. Betelehemu. Those are half notes that I'm snapping. Okay, and then when we get to the fast part, it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. It's in 6/8. You may recall there's some clapping that we did last time we performed it. I'm going to be asking you to record clapping also. You don't all have to do it. I don't actually want all of you to do it. But I still would like you to practice it just to develop your musical and rhythmic skills. So let's do this. Now you may recall that there was a circular quality to it, right? We've talked about duple before, 1, 2, 3, 2, 2, 2, 1, ta, 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 versus triple. So let's go 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. And I'm going to stop now, okay? Now, I don't want to go so fast that people who struggle with this kind of rhythm are left behind in this context as well as in the context where we meet in person. So let's take a little bit of time to take this apart and feel how it feels to do the pieces separately and then put it back together. So first of all, we have the 1, 1, 1, 1, the feeling down, 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 down. So we have the quality of down, and then when we do the other beats, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1. Good, okay. It's funny, you know, because of Zoom latency issues, it may be totally confusing what you see on the screen and how we don't quite match up, although it's not that bad. But just go with what you're hearing from me, or if I'm playing something for you, if I'm playing an audio resource or you're playing an audio resource, make sure that you're focusing on one thing at a time. Don't let yourself get confused by the visual. Okay. Oh yes, right. So I'm looking over here at the chat and people are asking, when will we have the sheet music? So today I spent a lot of time, and I think what I'll do now actually is I'll share the screen with you and show this to you. I realized today, while continuing to work on the score for Betelehemu, which I'm doing a new version of, I realized that I had to make everything exactly the way I intended to be in our final performance now, because I have to export from the notation MIDI version into the GarageBand, essentially into that audio click track basis to make sure that it all, I'm getting too much detail here, sorry. I have to be careful to make sure that what we start with is what I want to end up with. And I can't change it midway. I don't think I'm going to be able to do that. So I have to, I realized there were a lot of ambiguities in the original score that I had to make some decisions about and say, no, it's not going to be that way, it's going to be this way. So I'm going to share my screen with you real quick. And I'm going to show you the score that I started to work with. Can I get a wave from somebody that you can see my score now? Okay, thank you, good. Now I need an adjustment right here to, if you ever use Sibelius, anybody there, and you want to use it on Zoom, Zoom audio, you have to do a setting. So now, theoretically, can you hear that pitch and I play it? Can I get a thumbs up from somebody? You can hear that pitch when I play it? Thank you, good. Yep, good. That tells me exactly what I needed to know. Okay, so here is the score for Betelehemu that I've been working on. And I'm gonna, all right, good, thank you. I'm gonna mute you now, or that's enough of the ah. Okay, notice things like this over here. I'm including information for the percussionists in this score because I have to have that information in the audio version in the click track. I have to have that coming through, and so that the timing is exactly right. It might sound a little weird for now, but that's, it'll help us in the long run. So here's what it sounds like if I play it. Now Sibelius won't repeat this twice, 4 times. It goes on when it shouldn't. Okay, but that's basically how this is going to sound. Sometimes I'm going to be using this resource online to have you learn the music. And when I do that, I can make it much bigger so you can see the score. Let's see, I also want to do this panorama. Okay, so I can make it so that it's fairly large on your screen. How many of you, well, I can't really see very many of you at a time right now. Can you give me a thumbs up? Can you give me a reaction if you can see this music as it goes by? Okay, all right. So generally I'm getting thumbs up. And so if we find that some people are having a hard time seeing this music, then we will still have the option of you can have your sheet music in your hands also. It's just that this is going to give us a way of saying, altos, look at this line and see how it goes through here. It gives me a way to show you exactly what I'm talking about in a given spot in the music. Okay, so let's go back now here to the beginning. And I've got somebody who's singing and I need to have you mute. Oh, weird, that's weird. What's going on here? Stop. Okay.
It's Ruth.
Okay, thanks, Ruth. I got extra. Oh. Did somebody else put those markings on my score? Whatever, okay. So let's go back to the Betelehemu that the tenors and basses are going to be singing, and sopranos and altos, please feel free to sing that along with us. Let's listen to it once again. Okay, now notice that I've notated this a little differently than it is in the original version. I've got a staccato here and a staccato there. This is, listen to it. Betelehemu. Everybody say that. Betelehemu. Notice how the te is connected to the le and the he is connected to the mu. Betelehemu. Betelehemu. Let's do it with actual pitches. Here's the tenor note. And sopranos if you want to, and basses. Basses are here on the B flat. Betelehemu. 1, 2, 3, and go. Betelehemu. Betelehemu. Okay, Mark, I recognize your voice. I need you to mute, please. Right now, I can't mute everybody easily, so I'm going to have you mute yourself. Okay, so
that's not
here we
me,
go.
Adam. It's John, I think.
It's John. Okay, all right, here we go. Once again, here's the bass part and the tenor part. And see if you can do with your voice the kind of articulation that I just demonstrated. That's part of the point of this sort of exercise, that you can recreate the articulation that I'm asking for, and that you have the ability to control your voice in that way. That's why we're working on this right now. So here we go. So 1, 2, 3, and go. Betelehemu. Betelehemua, Betelehemua, Betelehemua. Okay, good. What I would like to see is there a guy out there? Is the tenor bass interested in singing that for me? That'll be my first option. And after that, I'll go with the women, the sopranos and altos. Candy, is that you? Candy, raise your hand. Can you sing that for me on the tenor part? There's your pitch. You may be muted, Candy. I can't see you at the moment.
Unmute. Is that me?
That's you now. Good.
All
Go for
right.
it. All right.
Betelehemua. Betele. I'm having a hard time with the words here, Adam,
Uh-huh.
pronouncing this properly.
Okay. Good. And I realize I don't think you have sung this song before.
No, I have. This is brand new for me.
Ah, okay, good. So
Betelehemua. I think that's the way it's going.
That's right. That's right. Okay, so now let me point out something. Be aware that your last pitch, as you're going moo, your pitch is going down on that. You're changing pitch.
Okay.
That was much better. There you go. Thank you very much. Now go ahead and do it again, Candy. Betelehemua.
Betelehemua.
Do you notice it went down again there?
I think I went down. Yeah.
Yep. Keep it on the same pitch. There we go.
Okay. Betelehemua. I think I'm concentrating too much on that now.
Yeah, well, it's interesting. Now I'm going to switch everybody to a different score here for just a moment. I want to show you something that I'm going to be doing. So this is another way of looking at the score. And I put that wah in there that we're actually going to be singing. Okay, that wah is there. It's not in the original notation because it's not part of the word. It's more of an articulation. But I want you to think about it being there. Now notice, Candy, same pitch there. That might help you cue you to sing that same pitch again. And it's kind of an afterthought sort of thing, and it's very short. Betelehemua,
Betelehemua, Betelehemua, Betelehemua.
Yeah, that's good. Excellent, Candy. Very good. And this is when we can wave our hands in the air like this, the ASL sign for good job. You can also do thumbs up. That's good. All right, one last thing.
Verte otra vez, Candelario. Ahora que todo esté bien.
Thank you. And one more, Candy, one more note for you on that le. Now this gets more into the vocal technique of it, and this is something I would like everybody to experiment with now as you sing it muted. Everybody's muted now. Notice how that le has that staccato on it. And how are you going to achieve that sound? You're going to do it with body, with support. It's a little lift. It's not, you want to make sure that you're not collapsing into the sound. Betelehemu, hear that? I'm letting air escape. I'll do it again badly. Betelehemu, and then I have to actually breathe again to sing that he. That's not what we want. We want to lift off and then back on to that same support that's still there. Betelehemu, Betelehemu. Candy, you want to do it again a couple times for me?
Sure. Betelehemua, Betelehemua, Betelehemua.
Excellent.
You know, if it was Spanish, it might be a little easier.
Yes, this is Yoruba. This is Yoruba.
Yeah.
Okay, good job, Candy.
I'll get the hang of it. Thank you.
Yeah, and that's the idea. So does anybody else want to give a try at this, either the bass or the tenor or a soprano or an alto, just for fun? Anyone? I think Zoom is letting me know when.
I can do the bass, Adam, if you want.
And that was Mark? Was that Mark? Okay.
Yeah.
Go for it, Mark, please. Thank you. Yep, that's the note.
Betelehemua, Betelehemua, Bethlehemu, Bethlehemu.
All right, good job. Nice, steady rhythm. Pitch is staying accurate and pretty clear. One thing I noticed is your le is a different vowel than the others. Be, you're saying betele. It's pretty closed. So try to not do that. Have the be the same all the way through. Betele. Everybody say betele. Betele. So if you're feeling your mouth change, your tongue position change, your mouth position change, betele. Now, Bethlehemu. Do it again, Mark.
Bethlehemu, Bethlehemu.
There you go. That's much better. Now, one other thing. Can you let your M of him be a little more vibrant and buzzy and spinning? Bethlehemu. So you get some sound continuing. Because I lost your tone, your vocal tone there for a moment on the M.
Okay. Bethlehemu, Bethlehemu.
Good. Now,
Bethlehemu.
excellent. Now, were you there, Mark, when we were working on raising the soft palate and speaking with that larger space inside? Because what I'd like to hear you do is say Bethlehemu. Moo.
Okay.
Say for me, Mark. Say moo.
Moo.
And moo. Good.
Bethlehemu.
Oh, yes. That was different. Could you feel it?
It is.
Okay, good. Hopefully people could hear that, because before your moo was a little tight and a little cramped, and it sounded thinner. The tone quality changed from your which was fairly open and good sound, to your ooh, which cut a little bit tight. So now you're singing that ooh with a little more space. One more time, Mark, go ahead.
Bethlehemu.
More space, yeah.
Bethlehemu.
Ooh. Go ahead. Yep, Bethlehemu.
Bethlehemu.
Yeah.
Bethlehemu.
All right, there you go. Good job, Mark.
Is that
Okay,
closer?
thank you. Yep, that was closer. That was a fuller sound on the ooh. You could still go farther that direction. You could still think more of that space inside your mouth as you're singing the moo. All right.
In my defense, I am laying on my back in our van in Oregon.
Okay. Well, you're doing very well considering you're on your back. Yeah. Okay. You're like those opera singers who, they sing reclining. Okay. Good. I'm going to, let's see. Let's do this all together. Okay. So you are all applying, the tenors and basses in particular, and sopranos and altos who want to moonlight, are all experimenting with what you can do to feel that lift in the body, to do the articulation we're looking for, and also notice the quality of the vowel that you're singing with. So also one thing I didn't quite say with Mark, make sure on your moo that your moo, it's not a woo, which you didn't really do that, but you were verging towards moo. Ed, is that you volunteering to sing? Or is that you with a question?
Well, it was yes, but is it mute or unmute for all of us?
We're kind of playing that by ear a little bit. Although right now, I would be muting everybody, but I haven't figured out when I'm sharing the screen how to get, oh, there it is right there. Okay, how to find the controls that will allow me to mute everybody. So we're just kind of seeing how it goes for right now. But yes, when we all sing together, it's going to have to be muted unless we're intending to have cacophony, which for occasionally can be fun. But okay, so Ed, are you gonna sing for me on that Bethlehemu?
Sure.
Go for it.
Bethlehemu, 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 Bethlehemu.
Yeah, excellent. One thing I noticed that you changed the first time you sang your moo, you let it fall, you let the pitch fall on wah, And I corrected Candy on that, not letting him change that pitch. But it was a little bit different, actually, because he was actually singing a different pitch. Betelehemua. It's kind of like that. Whereas you were doing more of a fall. And two things occurred to me about that. One, if I think it's possible that for the basses, that's okay, because it's so low you can't really hear it anyway. I didn't say that. Never mind. No, but there's a quality of, there's something in it that works. Let's do this for a minute, everybody. I'm going to jump over. I was going to play this for you anyway. Let's jump over to, not there, to this one. Okay. This is the Morehouse College Glee Club. And they were the ones, I believe, who introduced Betelehemu to the Western world, to America. They sang it for Robert Shaw. I think it was the first time, this recording actually they sang for Robert Shaw, but I think also they sang it for his Kennedy Honors program in the late 80s. Not sure about that. I'm probably guessing there. But certainly in this one, he's watching it. You can see him in there. And they were some of the first ones to introduce this piece to the world, to the Western world. So I'm going to play a little bit of this for you. Listen to the way that, now they don't do the walk here. All right, going to stop you. Also, they're in a slightly different key than we are. They're a minor second higher. Oh shoot, that didn't show me the wah that I wanted you to hear. Sometimes they have done that in other recordings. You can find other recordings of Morehouse College Glee Club doing it, and they do it on that. Also I remember the Mormon Tabernacle Choir, they do it on their recording. It's one of those things, this piece has so many variants to it, so many things you can adjust just a little bit. But whatever we do, we want to make sure that we're doing it well together. So tenors and basses, here we go. Betelehemu, going to go back to my score, and here's the pitches again. Betelete, betelete, tenors and basses. 1, 2, 3, and 4. Betelehemu, 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 betelehemu. Okay, check in with us again in a while. That's what you're doing for a while. All right, ladies, sopranos and altos, that is. Let's switch to the awayori part. I'm going to change this view again to look at it panorama so we can see this longer phrase. All right, so let's hear what that sounds if I play just the alto and soprano part. 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, lift. 1, 2. Okay, this is there's a that's weird. Oh, I know what we're doing. We're looking at the wrong one. Let's look at this one. Okay. So here we go. Awa yori baba. Now here's the thing. That's a long phrase. I would not be surprised at all if you had trouble singing that whole phrase. Let's do this. I'm going to have you sing it with na 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 na. Okay, we're going to do it like that. Delete these. There's no need to be there. So like if I was singing the alto part, it would be like this. Na 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 na. I made it. Okay. The point is of that reiterated na sound is that makes you think about using your tone in a really consistent way, using your breath in a smooth way. It doesn't allow you to waste your air quite as much as you might be prone to do. So anybody singing alto, let's hear you sing alto. Well, let's not hear you. You sing it there and I'll sing here. Join me in singing the alto part. Tenors and basses, you can all use practice on sustaining your tone as well. So you could do this exercise as well. Here's that pitch. Altos, do. I'm going to sing it in my octave down below. 1, 2, Ready and go. Na 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 na. Na 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 na. Then na 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 na. You can hear that I'm not quite consistent with my tone either. I'm torn between breathing when I really should, breathing a little bit earlier, somewhere in the middle of the phrase, and then coming back, and the feeling that I get. There's a desire that I have to actually sing the whole phrase, and it's really hard to work against that tendency, that desire. So let me get a sense here. I'm gonna stop sharing for just a minute because I want to see more faces, and I want to get a sense from the women. How many of you are having a hard time singing all the way through that phrase? Is that generally what you're finding? Okay. Sometimes it works and sometimes it doesn't, I see from some. Okay. So I'm interested, can I get, oh, let's get some people in here. We lost some people, now they're coming back in. So I am going to ask, is there any of the women, sopranos and altos, who would be willing to sing that for us? Candy, you've got your hand raised still. Let's see. So Trish, let's hear it. Can you sing this for us, Trish, on the na 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 na? Do you need to have that music up? Sorry, you need to unmute yourself. So let's do that first.
I prefer the words.
You prefer the words, just the words? Okay. Would it help if I put them over in the chat? Awa yi o ori baba Jule. And you know what? We haven't really practiced saying those words in a couple years. Trish, does that help to have it in the chat there, or do you need it?
I don't see it.
You don't see it. Do you have the chat up?
Wait a minute. Let's see. Where would I find
it? Might be tiny. At the bottom of the screen, there should be an option to turn on chat, and if you click that, then it'll show the chat.
It would be on my computer, up in the corner. Wait a minute.
I don't see it either. I can see the chat, but not what you wrote.
Yeah, it should be there. It's showing. All right, that's okay. We'll do something different.
I found it.
You did? Okay, that's good. That's good. So, can you sing? But actually, we don't really need the words right now because you're just singing it on na 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 na. Right? That's what we were. That was the exercise.
I know. Wanted the words. If that's possible, can I do the words?
You don't want to do the na 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 na?
That's correct.
Well, let me have somebody else do it then, because that was the point of the exercise right now. We'll come back to you when we switch to the words. Can I have Pat Fickert? Can you sing on the na 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 na, please?
I hope I have the rhythm right. Na 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 na.
Wow, excellent. That was awesome. That was really good. Good for you. One of the things that I liked about what you did is that all of the tone was kind of pingy and clear. I didn't get the sense that there was any place where you lost the focus of your tone, that it kind of stayed out where it needed to. So that was excellent. One thing that I noticed is as you were getting towards the end of the phrase where it's the same note, you were emphasizing certain beats, which was the beat, the 1, 2, na 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 na, a little bit like that. So can I have you do it again? And now smooth that out, iron that out so it's all smooth there at the end. Good, yes. Good job. I heard it when you started to run into that territory where you were starting to run out of air, sorry. So yeah, but that was much smoother, and that's the quality that we're going to want, everybody, all the sopranos and altos. When you're singing that section, we're going to want that quality of sort of a liquid flowing line that doesn't have that pulse. Very good, Pat. That sounds great. Okay, so does anybody else, let's see, Lee, got you again. Would you like to sing on the na-na-na-na-nas and see how you do? You had your hand up, so okay, all right. All right, you have to lower your hand when you don't want to be called on anymore. Okay, anybody else? Anybody else on the na-na-na-na? I need a soprano on the na-na-na-nas because that's a higher range, a different sort of thing. I will do it. Jill, that's you. Okay, Jill, let's hear you sing that soprano part, na-na-na-na. Do you want me to do it first? You got it. You need to unmute yourself because I can't hear you right now, Jill. Do we have you yet, Jill?
I don't
So,
know.
okay, now we have you. Good. Okay, do you want to go ahead and sing it? Do you want me to sing it first?
You sing it first.
Okay, so I'm going to jump back here to the screen just so you see the notation while we're doing it. So, no, 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 no. Let's see how I do. I don't know. One, preparing. Okay, 1, 2, 3. Na 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 Oh, that needs to be a half note. We don't need to hold that long. This is part of the reason why I do this. I can change things and make them exactly the way I want them to be for you before we make the recordings. All right, Jill, are you ready for it?
Okay. I need the book note.
Okay, it's here. That's your first pitch. Uh-huh. Okay, good, Jill. Thank you. So, let's see. The rhythm was off just a little bit in some places. I noticed you needed to breathe here before, about here around re, which is fine. When we want to do it in sections, when you want to stagger breathe, it's good to be proactive about that and to think about where it is that you're going to want to take that breath. So, Jill, and this isn't like you have to commit to this now for the next 3 months and this is the place you get to breathe. But right now, where would you like to take that breath? Maybe here on the re or on the ba, somewhere in there. Think about that. Now, we're thinking about a big beat here. A 1, 2, 1, 2. Almost all of the notes fall in line with that big beat of the half notes, except for this one. So wa ye o. In this case, it's actually it helps to have the words rather than the na. Although you can also do this. Let me demonstrate, everybody. Na 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 ni ni no 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 ni 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 na 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 no 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 ne 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 ne. In other words, I'm singing N with the vowels of the actual words. Sometimes that takes practice. Sometimes people find that easy to do. You can experiment with that. I would encourage you, especially sopranos and altos, to practice that at home and see if you can get that smooth and free. Because then it's just a simple little switch to the actual words and you're used to doing the right vowels at the right time. So Jill, let's have you do this again. You can continue to do it on na 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 na, or you can do na ni no ne, but you don't have to do that. Let's see what you do, okay? So I'm gonna, let's simplify it a little bit. Go ahead, sing the phrase. The main thing you're thinking about right now is lining up on those half notes. And then see if you need to take that stagger breath. Where are you gonna do that? How are you gonna come back in? Okay, are you ready, Jill? Here's your pitch. Go ahead. All right, good. So you went back to the text, actually, which is fine. and it sounds like that helps you line up the rhythm more accurately, which is good. That was good that time. The point of doing the na 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 nee 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 thing is to work on the continuity of tone. And so that's a useful thing to do, but it's not that everybody has to do that in order to sing this successfully. So I will leave that up to you all to decide. But that was good. So that time, Jill, you didn't need to take a breath in between. You were able to sing through the whole phrase. Is there anybody from among the group who would like to practice what it feels like to do that staggered breathing in there? And by the way, thank you, Jill. Excellent. Good job. Good job. So actually, let's do this. Trish, now that we're actually into the text, if you'd like to jump in and sing that on the text, we can go ahead and do that.
Now that you've got me confused with the soprano.
Wait, are you singing soprano or alto?
No, alto.
Oh, you're singing alto. Okay, I'll sing it for you. I'll sing it for you again in review. So, and if I have to stagger breathe, then I'll do that intentionally. So this is on text. 1, 2, 1. Okay, good. Go ahead, do it again, Trish, without me this time.
Okay.
Go ahead. Excellent, excellent. Now you actually carried your jule a little bit past this rest a little bit. You carried it into the third beat there. You're going to need that time to rest and recover. So you got to go back and do it again, right? So that's the first thing. We want to, of course, make sure that the cutoff is accurate, but also you want to give yourself the time that you have that's available to get a comfortable breath and reset your technique. Excellent. Very nice, Trish. That was good. One thing that I thought that I could encourage you on, and all the altos, it's partly an alto thing, it's partly a soprano thing. This rhythm that's just a little bit different here with the quarter note here, there's a moment there that gives you the opportunity to give a little momentum to the line, like this. I'm going to sing for you all, okay? So it's like, you hear how I kind of crescendo into the O there? And that yi, that quarter note, is the emphasis that goes into that. Can you try that, Trish? A little momentum there?
Mm-hmm.
Good, yeah, excellent. So when you're practicing that at home on your own, Trish, and all the altos, all the sopranos, you want to develop the habit also of going back and doing the next phrase again, right? So that you have the feeling of not having just done it once, but doing it in the context of 4 times through, because that is how it's going to look. Let's look at this again. Okay, just for the structure, everybody. So we have the tenors and basses doing the Betelehemu, this part as an introduction 4 times through, and then the sopranos and altos have here at this Awayori Baba Gbojule, second time Awayori Baba Fehenti, back again for the third time Awayori Baba Gbojule, and then the fourth ending, Awayori Baba Fehenti, here. So you have to do that phrase 4 times, or actually Gbojule twice, Fehenti twice. So you want to be able to develop the skill of being able to do that several times in a row. If you find when you're recording this that you're just struggling and you're not really able to do it 4 times in a row without a rest, without a break, that's okay. I can make adjustments around that in terms of editing. And so if you're not there on the third time, on the third phrase, that's okay. We just have you on first, second, and fourth. So let's see now. I think I would like to do this. Let's do sopranos and altos. Everybody's muted. And we're going to all sing that awa yori. I'll sing it, you sing with me, muted. If I need to mute anybody, I'll see if I can do that real quick. Okay, so let's see. No, okay, well, let's just go here. So there's the alto note, and there's the soprano note. Here we go, 1, 2, ready, and go. Awa yori ba akbo jule awa yori ba ba fenti. What am I doing this for? I shouldn't be singing this range. Oh, re ba ba gbo jule awa yo re ba ba fenti. It's that long, okay? That last phrase especially, if I have anybody who can sing all the way through that, I don't know what I'll do. I'll reward you in some way. But probably you're going to need to take a breath in here somewhere. So now let's talk again about how are you going to stagger breathe? How are you going to get back in there and make that work? You notice that I didn't come in loudly. Let's say I'm going to start here on the 4th time through at letter A in the alto part. By the way, I was singing up in your octave and I realized I'm not really doing that very well. Maybe I'll just jump down to my range. So that's why I did that. So this is the 4th time through at letter A. I'm just singing the alto part, but the sopranos will have the same issue. And so I'm going to stagger breathe, and sometime here in the middle of fehenti, I'm going to take a breath and I'm going to come back in, and I'm not going to come back in with a loud sound. I'm going to sneak back in. Okay, here we go. 1, 2, ready, and I sing. Awa yori ba ba fehenti. So that's all there is to it. You take the breath when you need to. You try to avoid something like the T, the sibilant consonant of a T or an S. Luckily, this phrase, the words of this phrase for the sopranos and altos they don't have a lot of problems that are going to expose somebody if you're breathing in the wrong spot. Like if I did this, if I started right on the ba-ba, and I did this T, I said, oh, I gotta breathe here, and then I put the T in the wrong spot, that's gonna be really obvious. So this is the wrong way to do it right now. Ba ba fed T. You don't want to do something like that, right? Because I'm just going to have to edit that out because it's in the wrong spot, and that T is going to pop right out of the choir, just like it would in a live performance. So this is the kind of thing that you want to do when you're stagger breathing, is be proactive and strategic about where you're going to breathe. And because you'll be recording it, and maybe you'll be recording it multiple times, you'll have opportunities to figure out what works well for you and what doesn't. So, okay, I'm going to stop sharing. I'm going to go back to anybody have questions, and I'm going to, oh, hi, Chuck. Come on in, Chuck. I'm going to mute, I'm going to I'm going to lower everybody's hands. And so we reset with that. Does anybody now have questions or want to sing something for me? Want to demonstrate? Jill, is that a new hand up?
No,
Okay.
no.
All right, I've lowered your hand now again. All right, so questions. Any questions? All right, good. So I realize now I've gone over just like I always do. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to take a little break, and then I'm going to switch over to Sing On, and probably I think we'll head at least to 8:30. We'll see how that goes. Okay, so let's take another little break for 5 minutes, and it'll be 7:57 when we start again.
I've got a quick prayer request for those of you who are a praying kind. My parents and sister and nephew live in Medford, Oregon, and they've got fires headed towards them like in the last hour. My parents have been evacuated from their building. My sister has all her friends are evacuating, and they're but everybody's on their own for that. But we told her to call 911 and they'd send somebody to get her. But there's black smoke like the next hill over from where she lives, and it's bad. Well, I don't have any firm news yet, but it's going to be one of those nasty nights for fires in Medford.
Yeah. I was in Eastern Washington last week, and as I passed through Ellensburg, I saw I forgot the name of the fire now. It's the one that's just south of Ellensburg, and that was only its second day. And the smoke was pretty contained early on Tuesday, but by later in that day, it already really developed. So
we've got a friend who her 18-year-old daughter is moving to Coeur d'Alene and was driving this morning and got in the middle of a road shutdown. That all of a sudden, if she was some little town out in the middle of nowhere and no way to get anywhere.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's starting to be a nasty season.
Yeah. Okay. Good. Koizi, I see your note here, by the way, in case you're on. So yes, I think I can do that. I can encourage everybody to sing more often. All right. So, no, I have to wait. Take a break.
I've been singing along with them, even if you tell, even if
right. Well,
things, so.
Yeah. I mean, the intention, of course, is that when I'm working with somebody and when they're singing, that you're singing along with them, muted at home too. But we can make that more explicit. So. Okay, It's 7:57, and let's go ahead and start back up again. So one thing that I want to do actually take a moment and show you a resource that I can recommend that's called Theta Music Trainer. For anyone who's interested in learning a little bit more about music, about theory, and who wants to practice some aspects of theory, I can recommend this program. It does start very basically, which for some of you that might not be useful, and others it will be what you want. So let me jump over there to Theta Music Trainer, and oops, not that one. Theta. Okay, so can I get a hand wave up that you can see Theta Music Trainer? Thank you very much. Okay, so it is there. I've already joined and made a membership here, and I've done a little bit of work in it just to see what it sounds like. They do things like games and exercises to get you experimenting with different aspects of music, whether it's ear training or knowing the theory. And there are these different games, which, let's see, what's a fun, I don't know. Can't remember which one I was going to do. So let's just jump into it to show you the kind of thing. They have some text that tells you things, and you play. Can you hear that pitch? Right. So that just played two different pitches to demonstrate what a unison sounds like, and then you can go on to demonstrate an octave. Okay, so we now let's know what an octave sounds like. And then, shoot, where's the, oh yes. Okay, so this is just a little bit of a demonstration of something that you can do yourself. Again, it's Theta Music Trainer. I'm going to, and that game was, oh, I mean, there are some more interesting games than that, but you have to kind of step through the process to demonstrate to the program that you understand certain things before it lets you play some games. So, but again, putting that into the chat, Theta Music Trainer is the name of that, so we can see that in the chat, and that resource will be available. It's not something I can put on the website, but I can put a link to it in an email or on the website, and you access it yourself and take it at your own speed. And I know that some of you are interested in that sort of thing. Okay, so let's jump over to Sing On. Thanks to, how many of you have your scores? Actually, you don't have to raise your hands, but hopefully you've got your scores handy. And if not, Roger has scanned his score. Thank you very much. And I'm in the process of marking it up, and we'll be sharing that on the website too for anybody who needs it. I want to show you some of the kinds of things that I'm notating as we work on the music, so that you get an idea of what I'm intending to communicate through that. Here, okay. So here's the scan that that Roger did. Can I get a hand up that you can see Sing On the screen? Good, thank you. So I've added these little markings here. So for example, here we start at the beginning with the tenors and basses on this opening melody. And this basically is what I'm going to spend the rest of the evening on, is the tenor and bass melody here, and then a few pages on when the sopranos and altos have theirs. But a lot of the things that I will teach to the tenors and basses, for example, here, will apply to the sopranos and altos when they sing at, what, page 6 or whatever it is. Page 8, yeah. So what do I mean when I do a line like this? And this is actually the kind of thing that I would make, the kind of marking that I might make for myself in a score if I was really trying to train myself to sing something in a really intentional way. So for example, this for example, is related to that na 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 exercise we did with the Betelehemu. We've got a long vowel on sunrise, which needs to be reiterated. It needs to be thoughtful all the way. So if I'm singing here, let's give me a G. Sometimes when I chance to catch the sunrise, right? First of all, also I'm having you cut off on the fourth beat there. Please mark that in your score. I want to give everybody that breath there. There's no reason to worry about sunrise, rising, or we don't need to do that. I want that to be a separate phrase, so cut it off on beat 4. But meanwhile, for all of the time that you're singing sun-ra, you really want to think about that ah vowel, and then the diphthong that happens at the last moment just before the Z sound. I'm going to sing that again. Sunrise. It would be easy to go sunrise or something like that, right? And to let that diphthong creep in early. So we want to be thoughtful about that. Let's go back to here now. This spot right here. So we have this interval here from the G to the B flat. That's a minor third. Sometimes when that shouldn't be too hard, but here this jump is a little bit higher. And if you're not thinking about it, it's possible for this note to be a little bit flat and to not really have the energy that it needs. And that's what this arrow is meant to encourage you to do. Sometimes when I chance to catch, it's the highlight of the phrase also. It needs the energy going into that. So everybody sing with me. I'm going to give you a 1, 2, 3, and ready. Sometimes when I chance to catch the sunrise. Let's just do that much. Now, as you come, chance to catch the sunrise. It could really get unpleasant there if you push that energy from past this point down the scale. Think about the way that gravity works. It's really easy to go down. It's easy to push too much going down. So you want to lighten up on your way down. You want to give a little energy going up, and a little less energy, a little lightness, a little flow on the way down. Let me try that again. Sometimes when I chance to catch the sunrise. Let's do it together. 1, 2, 3, and go. Sometimes when I chance to catch the sunrise, rising o'er the eastern range. Now I didn't write a here, but it's the same idea. You got the long phrase, the long held note. You want to think about what that vowel is. And so now here I put I-O-E-A. You really think about the purity of the vowels that you're about to sing. Rising o'er the eastern range. Let's do that again. Rising o'er the eastern range. Something inside me winds up singing. Something inside me is changed. Notice the jud there. I put that at the end. So again, we're cutting off on that fourth beat. Here, something inside. That leap there, it's the biggest leap that we have in the song so far. It's not that big a leap, but it's a fifth. And that means that you need to be thinking about it to sing it with energy. Then by contrast, this is only a minor second. It's a very small interval from this note to that note. And you want to make sure that you don't overblow that, you don't overpower it. It's just it's an emotional thing. Something inside me is changed. Let's do that together. Something inside me is changed. Let's go back up to the top here and sing all that phrase together. So sometimes when I chance, 1, 2, 3, and sometimes when I chance to catch the sunrise, rising o'er the eastern range, something inside me winds up singing. Something inside me is changed. All right. So I know that people are wanting to have opportunities to sing, but I also want to hear what people are doing so that I can respond to that and help you improve. Can I see, is there a guy, is there a tenor or a bass? Sorry, is there a tenor or a bass who would like to sing this section for me? Raise your hands. Peggy Schultz, let's see. Good, good. Anybody else? All right. So Peggy, you're on. And George, good, you give me a thumbs up, so I'll take that as a yes, you want to read, you want to sing. So Peggy, do you need the music sheet? You got it there in front of you? Okay, good. So unmute yourself and sing for us. Testing. Yeah, there you are.
Okay. Sometimes when I chance to catch the sunrise, rising o'er the eastern range, something inside me winds up singing. Something inside me is changed.
All right, nice job, Peggy. Very good. Now, obviously, this is set low for your voice, being a part that's for tenors and basses together, and therefore lower in its range than a tenor part usually would be. So, the notes that are that low, I don't know that I'm going to address those necessarily, but here's something to think about as you're singing through. I'm going to go back and look at the score so we can talk about this. So let's see. Rising o'er the eastern range. Something that I would like to hear even more from you on, Peggy, is that the consonants connect to the next vowel more. So like rising o'er the eastern range. That's too low. Let's do the sometimes when I chance. It's interesting because that V was a little too low for you, and you came back in on the eastern. There was a little bit of a glottal when you sang the eastern. If you're able to do that without the glottal, that'll help the rest of it be smoother a little bit. But let's go back to sometimes when I chance and think about it being liquid, smooth, totally connected as you're singing.
Okay. Sometimes when I chance to catch the sunrise, rising over eastern range, sometimes inside me winds up singing. Something inside me has changed.
Good. And you know about the side me is changed and singing rhythm there, but you didn't do that last time, so I think that was just a one-time thing. Very nice.
And I think I probably was a little hard on side when I came in.
Say that again, please.
I think I was a little hard when I came in on side. Same thing like you talked to me about on Eastern, where I'm dropping the low C and then coming back in on the E flat. So.
Oh, this one here, the something inside. Okay, so let's think about that a little bit, because we do have a number of women singing tenor, and you will probably all you'll have similar issues because it's low for you. Let's see, something. I can't really recreate it down there myself. Something inside. Can you think about, Peggy, can you demonstrate this for us, experiment with this? Can you see about that NG of thing and the N of in, even if you're not getting much sound there as you're singing, can you think about that buzzy spinning quality on that hum? Something inside me is changed. Feel that flow of air moving through that as much as possible, considering how low it is. Can you try that phrase?
Okay. Something inside me has changed.
Yeah, good. So inside me is changed. Make sure you get that, you change that in your mind. Good. I think that even though that's still low for your voice, that when you move through the consonants like the N and the NG that way, then that helps that when you get back into the range where you are capable of singing those notes, that it's flowing, it's continuing to flow, and you don't have to reiterate, you don't have to recreate the flow of your voice. I think that's something that is good, and that's a helpful thing. Thank you, Peggy. Excellent, good job. Phil, can you jump in and sing that?
Okay, yep, I got it. Got me?
Yeah, gotcha.
Sometimes when I chance to catch the sunrise, rising o'er the eastern range, something inside me winds up singing. Something inside me is changed.
Nice, nice. Good job, Phil. Very nice. I noticed that the second phrase, it felt like you were smoother. You brought more legato quality to the tone there than you had in the first phrase. That was something I was going to address, but then you fixed that. When you sing that, when any of you, and really basses especially, this is going to apply for you because it's a little higher for you than it is for the tenors. When you sing something inside me, or sometimes when I chance, in that spot there, you really need to think about that open space for the vowel. So let's all do this. Phil, I'm going to have you sing it again in a moment, but let's do everybody, all the tenors and basses, any other women who want to sing with this. Can you sing that phrase once again? And I really want you to focus on the open space that you can find here on these longer held notes like chance and side. So here we go. Sometimes, 1, 2, 3, and go.
Sometimes when I chance to catch the...
Hang on. So let's mute. Let's mute. I've muted you, Phil. So if you're singing right now, you're muted. So everybody, 1, 2, 3, and go. Sometimes when I chance to catch the sunrise, rising o'er the eastern range, something inside me winds up singing. Something inside me is changed. The way that this is written, I love the feeling of opening pa-dee-dum-pa. It feels so good to sing that, especially when you're opening the mouth and opening for that vowel to be rich and full. Okay, Phil, so I didn't really have, you go ahead and sing it once again, and you can demonstrate for us also that feeling of open space on chance to catch the sunrise. Yeah, and Phil, can you do this for us? Can you count yourself in so that anybody else who wants to sing while you're singing can line up with you easily? And this is something I think I want to try to do, everybody, as we go. So Phil, count us in like 1, 2, 3. Sometimes when, now it's you, go ahead.
1, 2, 3, 4. Sometimes when I chance to catch the sunrise, rising o'er the eastern range, something inside me winds up singing. Something inside me is changed.
Nice, good job, Phil. Excellent. Now, when this is just a note for everybody, when you count yourself or everybody else in, you need to breathe, right? And you really need to breathe when you would normally breathe. The way you did it, Phil, you went 1, 2, 3, 4. Sometimes, so you didn't give yourself really a chance to breathe on that fourth quarter, which is probably where you would have if you weren't trying to count us in. So go ahead, and this goes for anybody who's leading other people in music, who's trying to bring an ensemble in together. You want to breathe like you need to breathe. And I try to do this generally for myself whenever I demonstrate in front of you. I try not to demonstrate the kind of breath that I don't want you to take, if you will. So if I were to bring everybody once again in, let's do this, tenors and basses, any sopranos and altos who want to join us one last time through this phrase. Here we go. 1, actually, here's the pitch. Sometimes, 1, 2, 3. Sometimes when I chance to catch the sunrise, rising o'er the eastern range. Something inside me winds up singing. Something inside me is changed. All right, good. Now, I'm going to jump ahead in the score past the sing on section to the next page where the women sing, which is page 8. So, sometimes as I sit and watch the sunset, right? Again, ladies, I would like, sopranos and altos, I would like you to cut off on the 4th beat of measure 33. So we're not holding that out the way it's written. We're cutting off on the 4th beat with that T. Everything else is the same. I'm going to sing it for you. Sometimes as I sit, 1. You can sing with me if you like. Sometimes as I sit and watch the sunset, sinking past the distant shore, wishing I could change what life has handed me, fearing I can't face what's in store. And I generally won't go on to the point. You notice you cut off on the 4th beat. Sopranos, you're going to have to figure out you're going to cut off there and breathe as much as you need to breathe before you go on here. Tenors, it's easy for you. Make sure you breathe in the way that the sopranos are going to breathe here on this butt deep inside so that your rhythm lines up with them. Okay, so let's see. There's some things in this phrase, sometimes as I sit and watch the sunset, that are different challenges for the sopranos and altos than the tenors and basses have. And it has to do with the kind of vowel. Sit as opposed to chance. Chance is an easier vowel, at least for me, an easier vowel to sing and sustain on than sit. Also, wishing I could change what life has handed me. There's a lot of chewy consonants in here. Let's all say this in rhythm. Wishing I could change what life has handed me. Everybody speak that in rhythm. 2, 3, and 4. Wishing I could change what life has handed me. Do it again. 2, 3, and smoothly. Wishing I could change what life has handed me. So as you're singing that, you have this little leap here that you have to negotiate too, with all of these consonants happening at the same time. And that takes a little bit of focus and energy continuing. Let me do that. Wishing I could change what life has handed me. You also are going to have the rhythm that was in the first verse in the tenor and bass part, which is a slightly different rhythm. I want to make sure that you make this one correct, and that there's a quality in this line that I feel very different than the first verse. Change what life has handed me. So that's why I'm saying very legato on that section. Okay, I want to come out of sharing for a minute, and I'd like to see, is there any woman who would like to sing this section for us? Anybody raising their hands, soprano or alto, to sing that? Lee, got Lee, that's good. And Debbie, is that you raising your hand? So yeah, good. Okay, I'm looking for you to raise your hand digitally, but now I've seen you do it. So next time you can raise your hand. But meanwhile, go ahead, Debbie. Lee, I've heard you sing once, and so I'm going to have Debbie go ahead. Can you sing that phrase for me? Do you need the music? Do you have it? Okay, and you need to unmute yourself too? Okay, there you go, good.
I have the music. Where do you want me to start?
Go ahead and start at the beginning of the soprano and alto section on page 8.
And the
sometimes as I sit.
Pitch, G.
Okay, sure, it's here. Wait, not a G sharp.
Sometimes as I sit and watch the sunset, sinking past the distant shore, Wishing I could change what life has handed me. Fearing I can't face what's in store.
All right, very nice, Debbie. Very nice. Yeah, good. All right, now let me think of something here. Let's see, sinking past. Make sure that your cutoffs are all right all the way to the fourth beat, not a little bit early. You did a couple of them a little bit early that time. Let's see, sometimes as I sit and watch the sunset. Darn it, I forgot what I was going to ask you to do. Can you sing that first phrase once again, Debbie? Oh, I know what it is. I know what it is. So that when I talked about the tenor and bass verse in the first verse, and I said, sometimes when I chance to catch the singing the G to the B flat is easy, singing to the C takes a little more energy. And I would like you on your phrase, Debbie, to sing that sit with a little more energy coming from the word I. Sometimes as I sit and watch, that time I kind of overpowered it. That might have been too much. So it's something that you need to negotiate and figure out. What's the right amount? Can you do it again?
Sometimes as I sit and watch the sunrise.
Yeah, good. Sunset. But yes, you're right. But the sit was exactly right. Good. That's the energy. So that vowel on sit had a better, fuller quality to it than the first time you sang. And that's what we're looking for. That's good. So Debbie, I'd like you to sing it again, if you would, and count everybody in like I asked Phil to do. And what you're going to do is you're going to count 1, 2, 3, and you're going to breathe on 4. So like 1, 2, 3. Sometimes was, or whatever the words are. Okay, so Debbie, can you count us in?
1, 2, 3. Sometimes as I sit and watch the sunset, sinking past the distant shore, wishing I could change what life has handed me, fearing I can't face what's in store.
Yeah. Very nice, Debbie. Very nice, everyone. It looked beautiful. I'm sure it sounded beautiful too. Okay. One of the things interesting, Debbie, heading into your last phrase, wishing I could change what life has handed me. Fearing that quarter note rest, that fourth beat quarter note rest in measure 37, it's long. And you actually jumped ahead a little bit. You sped up. Now, when you have a click track in your ear, you won't be as prone to do that. But I pointed out because we should always make use of the full richness of every rest that we have. Take that opportunity to rest and to settle. I have the feeling that because you pushed ahead a little bit, you didn't have quite as full and comfortable and easy a breath leading into that last phrase as you might have had. So it wasn't bad by any means, but it would have been probably a little easier, a little fuller if you had given that full quarter note rest at time. Okay, good. So let's see, we are coming up on time here pretty quick. Let's do all the women once again. I'm going to sing it this time. On page 8 once again, and then we'll go back and do the tenors and basses again. And I will, of course, obviously, we'll be working into the other sections of the song. We were rehearsing this piece. We weren't ready for performance for it, but I know that you know this piece, and you don't have to learn every section in this much detail. But again, I'm making use of what's good about this venue. And what's good about it is that we can learn from each other and figure out, how can I sing this better? How can we end up with a better, fuller, richer, full quality sound individually, so that when we pull it all together in the final tracks, we get a better final result. Okay, so let's go back and sing that page 8 once again, sopranos and altos. And emotion and feeling is something else to think about as we're singing. Wishing I could change what life has handed me. Here we go. This is sometimes as I sit. 1, 2, 3. Sometimes as I sit and watch the sunset, sinking past the distant shore, wishing I could change what life has handed me, fearing I can't face what's in store. But deep inside I know I've got to let my life unroll, and it stirs the music in my soul. Let's go ahead, might as well. Sing on, whatever comes your way, sing on, sing on. Keep your music going, flowing from your heart until the day is past and gone. Take the time to look around and find the things that keep you singing on. Sing on. And we'll stop there. Okay. So, I believe we will stop and let's unmute anyone. Does anybody have questions? Also, feedback would be useful. What is helpful about this venue? What is not? What do you want me to do differently? This may not quite be the venue for that, although, you know, bring it on. But send me an email also, particularly. Send me an email and tell me what you think. Any thoughts for now?
I'll just say many thanks to the brave souls who sang, because it made it really fun. So, and it was wonderful to hear and see everyone. Thank you.
Absolutely, absolutely. Coraggio.
Yeah. Thank you, Adam.
Well, you're welcome. My pleasure. My pleasure. And you know what, we haven't necessarily talked about the length of these rehearsals. 2.5 hours is a long time in Mount Vernon Presbyterian Church when we get our break and our cookies and stuff. 2.5 hours in Zoom, from what I hear from people, that's a little too long. So I think probably, unless we figure out some way to do breakout rooms or ways that people can really rest in between, it's probable that we won't go to 9 o'clock in these Zoom rehearsals. I think 8:30 might be as late as we want to go. You give me feedback about that too. No, we want more. I don't know. Okay, so good. All right. Well, let us say so long, farewell, and
Wiedersehen.
Auf Wiedersehen. Yes, I knew it was coming.
Thank you, Adam.
Okay, thank you all.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Good to see you, Debbie.
Good to see everybody. Hi, Debbie.
Marilyn. Bye, Marilyn.
Bye-bye.
We'll see you Monday.
Yeah.
Tomorrow. Tomorrow.
Wednesday, yes.
See you all next week.
Thank you.
Thank you, Adam.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
See your bright and shiny faces.
Bye, everybody.
I'm going to watch as everybody leaves so I could see.
It's
You
kind
know
of
how
fun.
you can't see everybody at the same time.
Yeah, yeah. Now, oh, there she is. There he is. Yeah.
I see a fan. Oh, there's Judy.
Yes, hi.
Hi.
I'm just typing
And
that I was there and not there because my internet's very flaky.
Flaky.
Yeah, exceedingly flaky.
I love my iPad. My computer is so slow, but the iPad works really well.
I couldn't get anything to work. Phone, iPad, or computer.
So that sounds like maybe it's an internet connection issue, not
Yes,
a
it's on
device
the
issue.
entire street.
Oh,
so it's not just me.
I see.
Unfortunately.
Okay. Well, hopefully next time that won't be as
Sure
a
hope
problem.
so.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay, well, thank you, everybody.
You're welcome.
So much appreciate it. Very, very lovely. Good. Bye now.
All
I
right.
gotta figure out how to get out of here. Oh, leave. I'll be singing Idlewice after this.
Yes.
Okay. Bye-bye.
All right. I'm going to end the meeting for all now. So, all right. Good night.